This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use, but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, is your family headed for a holiday fight? They say you're an abuser.
He said, you're acting like a donkey. Yeah.
Even attacking relatives. Do you do that?
I never choked you. I grabbed you by your shirt.
You say she started it. What do you mean she started it? You are the adult. You can't get physical with your daughter. How to defuse the drama. Buddy, you need a rescue. Today, you're going to be meeting a family in chaos. When I say chaos, I mean screaming, arguments, verbal attacks, and we've got a wife that is absolutely ready to walk. So what's at the center of all of this conflict? It appears to be a mini fridge. Now, look at this. We're talking stocked with all kinds of snacks and drinks, and this seems to be at the epicenter of this fight. But is it really? Ask yourself this. When you have a family meltdown, when you guys get in fights, do you really talk about the issues that matter? Or do you fight about topics like a mini fridge because it's safer than dealing with what really, really matters? You'll be asking yourself those questions today as you listen to these people. Let's go do it.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Some say it's a hard life, but it's hard for us all. Always hold on.
In 10,
Always be strong. Reach out for a safe
5, 4, 3, 2,
darkness. I need a hand to pull me through.
Stand by, camera 6.
I know, I will survive.
Before you carve the turkey this week, I want you to just hold on because we need to talk about something very important, family. More specifically, I want to talk about family drama because we all have them. I mean, come on, we just do. Arguing and bickering is sometimes hard to avoid, and the noise can get so loud that it drowns out all the things that you care about in your family. What happens when the behavior escalates to cursing, yelling, and even physically attacking relatives? Now today, we're going to meet a family, a mother, a father, twin daughters, and a son-in-law who are all at each other's throats. This isn't just about them and just about their family. It's about you and your family and how you deal with conflict. Are there times that you should just not react and let things go? And are there times you need to stand up and say, wait a minute, that's not who we are and that's not what we're going to do? Instead of getting ready for the holidays in peace, this family's way of practicing good holiday cheer seems to be pointing the finger at one person as the main source of the family divide. Now, Loretta has written to me not once, not twice, but 13 times because she says she is tired of the constant drama in her family and she blames her husband of 23 years, Devin, for all the problems. Now, she says he's selfish, he's self-absorbed, he's verbally and physically abusive, and treats their 18-year-old twin daughters just terribly. Loretta says she's ready to walk out the door, has even devised a plan that involves one of her daughters. Only one catch, she hadn't told Devin yet. Take a look.
The primary source of our family drama is Devin. We fight every day about something.
I am so sick and tired of hearing that I've changed it.
I'm through talking to you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm not through talking.
I'm living with turmoil every day. I'm ready to bail. Devin's self-absorbed. He always thinks I should back him, even when he's not right, because I'm his wife. I don't think he values anything that I say. Devin is sucking the entire life out of me. Like I want a divorce.
Well, Loretta's husband, Devin, says he's not the problem at all, and he points the finger right back at his wife and their twin daughters.
I don't consider myself a bad guy. The house is divided. It's them against me.
How am I going to learn anything?
I've said to them before, that really hurts, but I don't think it really matters to them.
I changed my mind about what I'm going to do in my life.
Loretta has undermined my parenting. I don't ever see myself provoking bad behavior. What have I done so wrong to make them hate me?
Well, Devin's version of events makes it sound like he's the victim in all this. He's just ganged up on by these women in the house. But his daughter Ashley says that's not the case, and she must have a good reason for hating him.
My father just makes me really feel low about myself. When I go out to the club, he'll say things like, "You look like a hooker. You're not leaving my house wearing that, because if you do, then you can't come back."
You're mean! No, it's not because I'm mean.
I just tell him to shut the hell up. He yells at my mom all the time.
What did you tell me? Nothing.
He doesn't really show her that he loves her. He only puts on a show for people, so people think he's picture perfect. I hate my father.
Oh, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear any child use the word hate about somebody else in their family. Ashley has a twin sister, Amy. She recently got married. She says things have been so bad, the last thing she wanted to do was have her father walk her down the aisle. Now, she ended up letting him do it, but only because of family pressure.
On my wedding day, I wouldn't have had my father walk me down the aisle. Why would I stand up on that day and be two-faced and have him walk me down the aisle? My mom told me I would break her heart if I didn't do that, and so I did it. My father calls me a pig, a witch. He's called me a bitch, a donkey. When he calls me a donkey, he will scoot his foot on the floor and eeyaw like donkeys do. I tell my father that he needs to shut his mouth. I yell at him.
It didn't have much powder on it. It would have been fine.
A father's supposed to give you affection. I didn't receive that from him. The day I became a teenager is the day my father checked out. I have called my father a dumbass, arrogant, selfish, can't stand him, but I just look at him as a sperm donor.
Okay, pretty harsh words. What do you think's going on?
I think a lot of the issues that we've had have arose from the children and discipline, how our house is run. Me and my wife don't see eye to eye on how the children should be disciplined.
Have you called her a hooker? Have you said she looked like a prostitute? Have you called her a whale? Have you called them every name you can imagine?
No, sir. I said...
Okay, wait a minute. Did you say no?
Yes, sir.
I want to tell you what they're saying. Mm-hmm. They say you are an abuser, that you are abusive. I'm not saying you are.
Right.
I don't know that.
Right.
But they say that you are. You admitted that you said Ashley looks like a prostitute.
There again,
go-go
the wording.
boots and short booty shorts, as you call them.
Well,
that you raise your voice, that you yell at them, that you've said that according to your wife, that you've said to Amy, you are a grazing whale.
I don't ever ever saying that, no.
Okay, so that's what I want to get to.
Correct.
One of you two's not telling the truth.
Well, he tells Amy and I all the time that we're grazing. I'm a diabetic, and I have to eat way more than one day.
I've said it that she's grazing to my wife, yes. But to my daughter, I don't know. If I have, then...
Okay, I'm not going to waste my time here. That's in quotes. You told us that he said you were a grazing whale. The reason that's in quotes is because it is a specific statement that you made. Now, when I just asked you about it, you backed up and said, well, he says we're always grazing. Now, did he call you a grazing whale or did he not?
He's called her a whale, but he also tells her that she's grazing all the time. So I don't think it ever came out grazing whale, but I think that he's called her a whale.
You shouldn't have said that then. But he's called her a whale and says that she eats all the time or is grazing all the time.
He's called her a donkey. He's called her a pig.
Yeah, I'm getting to the rest of the list, donkey and pig.
You know, like
do
I said,
you do that?
I honestly don't think I have. If I have,
come on.
If I have, seriously, sir, if I have, then if it was in the fit of a rage that we were in the midst of a heated conversation, then if they're alleging it, then maybe I have. Personally, I don't think I have.
Listen, look,
seriously,
I'm here to help you. I'm not trying to criticize you.
Absolutely.
I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't think any of you are bad people.
Absolutely.
I think you come
felt
together
like I
in a
had
bad
said
way.
that, I would own up to it.
Okay, well, give me the sound effect that goes with it when he calls you a donkey.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want me to do the motions as well?
I mean, maybe this will get his memory.
Well, we were in the kitchen, and I had gotten something to eat, and he said, Amy, don't you think you've had enough? And I said, no, I don't. I would like to get a little bit more. And he said, well, you're acting like a donkey. And I said, don't call me a donkey. And he said, no, you're acting like a donkey. And me and him started screaming, and on the way out, he goes, "Ee-haw, ee-haw." I mean, out of the room. That's what he did. And it's really not funny. It's not. I'm his daughter.
I'm just asking you, does that jog your memory?
No, sir, it does
It seems
not.
to me like a guy would kind of remember
Absolutely.
if he's following his daughter out of the kitchen, making braying sounds and stomping his foot.
Absolutely.
Doesn't seem like it's something that slipped my mind.
To my recollection, I don't ever...
Okay.
No, sir.
All right, so, do you have a pathological liar for a daughter?
No.
On January 6th, did you slam Amy against the wall and say, get your ass in the room, and then throw her on the bed?
I don't remember the whole context of the wording, but I mean, if you're gonna speak about that, I think it needs to be spoken in the whole context of what happened.
Well, I'll let you put any frame around it you want. I just want to know if you said it and if you threw her on the bed. You either did or you didn't.
I don't know, but yes, she was pushed on her bed.
Okay, and I'll let you explain that when we come back after the break, because I just want to get the truth out, and if it's all a bunch of inflammatory exaggerations from these women that have you surrounded in this house, I want to know that too, because I can't deal with what I don't know.
Absolutely.
All right? I've been asking you some hard questions. You girls are next. Loretta says Devin favors their 4-year-old son over their 18-year-old twin daughters, and her, for that matter. He denies this claim. So what's that truth? I'm going to try to get to the bottom of that, and when we get to the bottom, then we can start digging up. Be right back. Across this great country, from coast to coast, you've told me about the crossroads we're facing. That's exactly why I wrote We've Got Issues, How You Can Stand Strong for America's Soul and Sanity. This book isn't just a conversation starter. It's a roadmap for standing strong in the face of adversity, for embracing our core values when they're needed most. We're talking about real strategies for real people dealing with real issues, from navigating the complexities of today's polarized world to fortifying our families. And I set forth in the book 10 principles that I think are critical for a healthy society. This is not about politics. I'm not a politician, don't want to be a politician, don't know enough about politics to talk about it. But I talk about every angle of life as we know it, from family and relationships to the burning issues that are shaping our world today. We've got issues. How you can stand strong for America's soul and sanity. And you'll find it anywhere books are sold. It's about time we start addressing what truly matters.
On Oops the Podcast, join me, comedian Giulio Gallerati, as I examine everyday life, the mistakes, the bad decisions, the goals, the jokes, the social engagements, and all things in between. I'm joined every week by producer and personal confidant Ryan Lynch, various other comedians, for witty, candid, and intoxicating conversation. Our listeners love Oops for its sophisticated banter, aka your mom could listen, and many feel like they're in the room with us chopping it up with old pals. You can find every episode of this show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube.
Since we've been out here, we couldn't go sightseeing because she had chest pains.
She wanted to look at everything with you, but she wanted to take it slow.
But
and
y'all
so,
don't understand
because you had a
is that-
problem with that, you and Tyler went up to the room
room.
last night, Dr. Phil. Last night, went back up to the room, and my mom sat downstairs outside crying while I comforted her.
And later,
I've made Ashley leave my house when she gets to cussing and totally disrespecting.
The worst thing I've ever said to my father probably would have to be you. I'm just so used to it that I could just really kind of care less.
Our family drama stems from finances, arguing over lights being left on in the house when I've got a $300 a month electric bill.
What does it matter?
They think it's no big deal. Of course, they're not paying the bills, Dad is.
I'll go to the grocery store with $150, and it ended up being $250. He flipped out.
What else did you get?
Might as well have stabbed me in the heart, he said.
well, we're talking about family drama today, and the reason I do this at this time of year is because it's the time of year that we really think about family. We're coming into the holidays, and it's a time we get together. My dad used to joke that the holidays are when you get a lot of people that don't know each other very well, jam them into too tight of a space and make each other miserable for a couple of weeks. doesn't have to be that way, and if it's that way every single day in your house, that's no way to live. Now, Loretta and her 18-year-old twin daughters, Amy and Ashley, say they're here to force their husband and Father Devin to come clean about his drama king behavior. They say they have a huge problem with the fact that he favors his 4-year-old son over them. He says he doesn't know what they're talking about. He treats everyone the same.
Tyler's the favored one over me and my sister.
I am jealous of my dad and Tyler's relationship.
I don't favor my son.
Devin does pick Tyler over the girls. Devin doesn't spend much time with the girls at all. He treats Ashley and Amy like they're stepchildren.
My relationship with my dad changed when my brother was born. We used to get a lot of attention, and now we're not.
He hides Little Debbie's, Dr. Pepper, and donuts in the room for Tyler.
This is my dad's refrigerator. It is off limits. Tyler's juice, which we are not allowed to touch. Those are my brothers.
He doesn't offer those to the girls.
My dad takes Tyler to do everything he does. He pays for him to get anything he wants. He doesn't get in trouble because he's a boy.
Tyler hangs out with my dad way too much.
Tyler is his unconditional love right now. He didn't even really want him to go to preschool. Didn't want him to leave the house. He's his everything.
I see Tyler as a young, innocent individual, whereas my daughters allowed that anger to build up to where they've distanced themselves from me.
It was all about me and my sister. Now it's all about Tyler.
You said you are desperate that this family needs a miracle or it's going to fall apart.
It is. It's already fallen apart. And I just decided a couple of days before I wrote my last letter saying, I'm out. I have to take care of myself. My health is not good, and I can't take care of me when I'm trying to take care of everybody else.
I've been asking you to work on your health for a long time, Loretta. And, you know, those issues have been long-standing for many years, as well as with the children. These are not things that have just cropped up recently. And we've even gone to counseling. And you quit going to counseling because they didn't want to go anymore.
You don't try to help her, you criticize her.
No.
Like, instead of saying something nice or helping her, you say stuff like hateful stuff.
No, like we go to eat, we eat, and then 2 hours or an hour later, you're eating chips and dips. And I say, Loretta, you know, that's not something you should eat because of your health issues and so on and so forth, that you should, you know, eat something more healthy than eating chips or dip.
And this is what I say to him all the time. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I don't disagree that that's the right thing.
But you get mad because I'm bringing up that you're eating 2 hours, hour after you just had a big meal. And if you're hungry, eat something that is more healthy than chips or dip or that stuff that you eat all the time.
Do you hear her saying it's not what you say, it's how you say it?
I've heard that many times.
He won't listen.
But how do you say, okay, you're eating chips and dips? I just say, Loretta, you're eating chips and dips. Should you not eat something more healthy? You're having heart problems. Since we've been out here, we couldn't go sightseeing because she had chest pains. So, you know, I'm asking.
Okay, instead of comforting her and instead of helping her out, what did you do last night?
I asked her to come back to the hotel room.
And she didn't want to. She just wanted to take it slow. She wanted to look at everything with you, but she wanted to take it slow.
But y'all don't understand
because you had a problem with that. You and Tyler went up to the room last night, Dr. Phil. Last night, went back up to the room, and my mom sat downstairs outside crying while I comforted her.
I asked her to come back to the hotel room because she was having chest pain. She walked downstairs and was out of breath. And I said, I don't want you to have a heart attack out here and be in such pain.
What he said was, I don't want to be responsible to your family if you have a heart attack.
I said,
so I
don't want you to have a heart attack out here, and then your family blame me because you're out here walking around because I want to sightsee.
When we come back, I'm going to get an answer to my question of why Loretta says this is over and she wants out. Is there a way to resolve conflict in a family, or once it gets to this point, are you better off to just turn on your heel and go your own way?
Do you expect your son to love you if you would have gotten a physical fight with him, if you would have choked him or slammed him against the wall or thrown him down on the ground?
There again, you say choking, Amy, but I never choked you. I grabbed you by your shirt and took you into the room, and you were screaming I was choking you.
Me, put your arm against my neck, whatever.
And later, there is no justification for you laying your hands on your daughter in anger. You are the father. You have to rise above that. Devin, seriously, we can change this right now. We really can. We're talking about families that are being ripped apart by feuding and endless drama. Now, Loretta has written the show 13 times seeking help for what she calls a divided family. Loretta says she wants Devin to stop shouting at them and calling them all names like donkey and whale. Now, here's what they had to say.
Loretta, it doesn't matter. The point of the matter, I can have it.
When Devin throws a fit, he raises his voice, hollers at us, tells us what we need to do instead of what we're doing.
I've always said the yard is my work, your work's in the house. And I still do the work in the house.
My father is very hateful. He despises both of us.
Nothing's ever positive out of Devin's mouth toward all three of us.
I'm angry with Loretta because not being on the same front with our children, it has caused division in our house.
Your dinner that night, I paid for all of it.
Amy and Ashley's relationship with Devin is very tense right now.
I don't put up with my father's crap. My mom steps down. She doesn't speak up, and I do. And he's not used to it.
We walk on eggshells because we don't know what kind of a mood he's going to be in.
I've made Ashley leave my house when she gets to cussing and totally disrespecting.
The worst thing I've ever said to my father probably would have to be you. I'm just so used to it that I could just really kind of care less.
He has belittled them.
When Ashley goes to clubs, I feel like she looks like a streetwalker.
When I'm going to the club, he says things like, "You look like a hooker."
I asked my father to stop calling my sister a hoe. He said, no, she needs to quit acting like one.
As her father, I have a right to voice my opinion.
You have to have flexibility when it comes to teenagers.
If we had a united front, we wouldn't have this drama today.
Okay, so, I mean, as you look at that, does that look okay to you?
No, it doesn't. Like I said, there's a lot more behind all of this than what's being shown or seen here.
Well, listen, you got the floor, so
absolutely.
Just fill us in.
Just the word that she said, that was blurred out, that isn't the only thing. I've been called, the day that she was asked to leave, when my wife's mother called, asked if I was going to walk Amy down the aisle, I said, look, your Meemaw called and wants to know if I'm walking Amy down the aisle. Well, it's nobody's business what she does. It's, her life. She can do whatever she wants. Everybody needs to leave her the alone. We had three people, two different families at our house from the hurricane. And I asked her to leave. These two older individuals at my house are sitting here listening to her disrespect me, and I felt like disrespecting them by talking that way in my house.
And who are you talking about?
Ashley.
Okay.
So I asked her to leave.
All right, got you. We got that story. What else do you need to fill in?
There's Amy, the incident where, I slammed her in the wall. She slammed me first.
Let me just ask you guys. I said when I was doing the intro to this, and you guys were still backstage, you've used the word hate with regard to your father, and that just doesn't fit in my ear well. Do you really hate this man?
Depends on the day. If you see my films, I've told everybody I don't hate my father. If I have said I hate my father, it was out of anger. I have an anger problem. I will admit that. I have a hard time communicating with my husband. And we just got married. Already, I have a hard time communicating with him because of what I've grown up to. I don't hate him. I dislike him. Do you expect your son to love you if you would have gotten a physical fight with him, if you would have, choked him or slammed him against the wall or thrown him down on the ground?
And there again, you say choking, Amy, but I never choked you. I grabbed you by your shirt and took you into the room, and you were screaming I was choking you.
Me, put your arm against my neck,
in the
whatever.
room and immediately sides with you and asking, what am I doing?
I wouldn't say that I hate my dad. I would say that I hate the way my dad treats me. I hate the way my dad treats my sister. I hate the way my dad chooses Tyler over me and Amy. I hate the way he treats my mother.
But you say that I choose
that,
but I don't.
I hate the things
What's up
that
with
he
this
does.
mini fridge? I mean,
Okay,
this is
fridge,
the height of triviality, but what's up with the mini fridge?
And I don't understand it all either.
Is it off limits to them?
No, they come and get pop all the time. I have my own stuff in there. No, I have my own things in there that I keep off limits to y'all, because I can buy things for myself and put in there, and then they'll come in, drink up all of their things, and then start drinking up mine as well. When you're on a limited budget, you know, like I've told your producers, you can buy $700 worth of groceries in a week and it can be gone. That's a lot of problems with me and my wife on finances. You know, $700 in groceries
Well, you talk
a week,
like these guys overeat all the time, and I'm not saying that's not an issue, but you're no minnow.
Absolutely.
The stuff you are fighting about, the stuff that you are jockeying for position and trying to be right about is embarrassingly trivial. Mm-hmm. I would be embarrassed to talk about it if it wasn't for the pain that was behind all of this. Those are the topics. They're not the issues. We'll be right back. You debate, well, was it actually choking or just a forearm to the throat? That's the kind of rhetoric you don't even want to be associated with. You've got to rise above this if you're going to have any chance. And you got a huge chip on your shoulder. What are you, Judy Attitudie? You can't come in just wanting to fight everybody every minute. And later, not one person, not one question, what can I do to improve the situation? Tell me something I can do to improve, to change, to elicit different responses, to improve the situation. Nobody wants to know that.
I don't think the question is more so, what can I do? It's more like, can I do anything? Dr. Phil, I'm asking you, can I do anything?
Today we're talking about families that are torn apart by drama and divided during the holiday season in particular. Now, Loretta is a wife and mother. She says she's tired of keeping silent in what she calls a loveless marriage. But yet I ask her why you want a divorce, why you say you're done. I didn't get an answer. Her husband, Devin, says he will do and say whatever it takes to make his marriage work. But apparently insight's not one of those things he's willing to do, because I've asked him about each of the things that he's alleged of doing, and he's like, I do not recall. I do not recall. I can't remember that. Gee, I didn't really mean that. These girls, I mean, they obviously disrespect their father. They throw F-bombs at him all the time. They argue. They disobey. But there's just a complete lack of respect in his family. Maybe that's what's going on in your family. Loretta says if things don't change, she's walking away. Let's hear what she had to say.
I'm to the point where I want a divorce.
I don't want a divided home. I felt Loretta's faults in the marriage are finances, and she's a poor money manager.
I don't feel like he has the right to tell me what to do with my money.
I've tried to have rules and guidelines and boundaries for them that I feel that has caused the dissension.
I feel like I have to choose always. I have to choose between Devin and the girl.
She's trying to be their best friend instead of their parent.
He just doesn't get it. I want out of this marriage.
I want the drama to stop. I've wanted it to stop for so many years, I can't even tell you.
This is my last attempt to save my marriage. Going to see Dr. Phil because I value what he has to say. You know, Dr. Phil, I have asked specific things of him. I've heard you say over and over and over through the years, tell him exactly what you need from him. And I have. I've asked him to say one nice thing to us each day, me and the girls. I've asked him to do relationship rescue, which is sitting on my nightstand, that has been there since '06, and asked him several times in between if he'd do that with me. He just turns everything around to look like it's all on me.
So why do you say you're willing to do anything, and she comes with a plan and says, here's the plan, this relationship rescue?
Right.
And, buddy, you need a rescue. Let me just talk to you dad to dad,
okay.
Husband to husband. Forget about Dr. Phil. This is just Phil and Devin, okay?
Correct.
This ain't working.
I know.
And this stuff about saying, I'll do it when they do it, is crazy. This is a situation that needs a hero, and you are a great candidate to become a hero in this situation. There comes a time when you say, I cannot control them. They're 18. At this point, I mean, you've written on the slate of who they are. They're going to have to choose to change if they choose to change. Y'all can be the victim. You can harbor your anger. You can pummel your husband with it. You got choices that you're going to have to make, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But at some point, you got to say, I got to clean my house first.
Right.
I got to clean my house first. And when you say to me, she started it, I'm like, oh, gee. You are the adult. You are the father. What do you mean she started it? You can't get into a physical confrontation with your daughter.
Well, when she sat there and called you a SOB...
I don't care if she comes up with a list of names and reads down through them. That is not okay for her to do that, but there is no justification for you laying your hands on your daughter in anger. You are the father. You have to rise above that. Devin, seriously, we can change this right now. We really can. We can change this right now. Do you get the fact that you've been pulled down into some stuff?
Absolutely.
And that is not okay? You'll never win this argument, not with me or anybody else. If you get physical with your child in anger and you debate, well, was it actually choking or just a forearm to the throat? That's the kind of rhetoric you don't even want to be associated with. You've got to rise above this if you're going to have any chance. And you got a huge chip on your shoulder. What are you, Judy Attitudie? You can't come in just wanting to fight everybody every minute. You guys really, boy, you are quick. I've watched the tapes. You're just looking like, okay, you want me to man up? I'm all over you.
Like she's looking for a fight always.
They're mad.
Yes, they're mad. And I understand why they're mad. Because their parents aren't parenting. Their parents have become parts of the kid. And you're fighting in there together. Okay. I need a break. But I'm not giving up here. I'm not. I don't think. All right, coming up, why Devin videotaped his daughter Amy and showed his friends. Amy's still upset about it. We're going to talk about that next. And I swear, I'm going to say something. I'm going to put the dots real close together. I'm going to put verbs in my sentences, and we're going to articulate a plan to get from here to at least the next dot. We'll be right back.
I worry about dysfunction in their lives when they get married and have children.
When I was 15 years old, I lost my virginity, and I was seeking male attention. I didn't have it. My dad didn't give it to me.
I want to have a lot of attention from guys because I don't get the attention from my dad anymore.
Ashley got my dad's attention from the bulimia. My sister takes it overboard. Drinking is a problem right now.
You need to spend more time with the girls, which I've tried to do.
If my daughters don't let go of this resentment, this anger, it will continue to eat on them.
If I marry somebody, it will be somebody opposite from my dad. I'll make sure.
You should step up. Have you never heard of let it calm down?
I will never forget about my children the way that my father forgot about me. It won't happen. I've learned from his mistakes.
Well, we're talking about a family in conflict today, and all families have conflict. And, it's interesting. If you talk to any one of these people individually, they're very charming people, really. I'm serious. Amy and Ashley are delightful. Loretta's got a great sense of humor. Devin, these are very nice people. But the manner in which they've come together is in meltdown. Would you all agree with that?
Yes, yes sir.
When Amy was 15 years old, on the list of bad choices, she came home drunk. She says instead of protecting her, Devin stuck a video camera in her face to tape her behavior for, in his words, evidence of what she was doing. Amy says she's never seen the video in its entirety because the whole incident has been one of the main sources of contention with Devin. Now, she's ready now to bring it all out on the table and talk about the incident. Take a look.
Say your ABC.
Okay.
I went and got the video camera. I told my wife what I was going to do. I said, this is going to be evidence. This will be the proof.
Well, my first question towards my father would be, why would my father need evidence on me when I'm only 15 years old?
Amy.
What, Dad?
Get up.
No. This was clearly a mistake that didn't need to be filmed. It just needed to be taken in a responsible manner, and we needed to talk about it.
You're pretty. This is what she gets for her sister.
There was no reason to put my drunken incident on film.
I'm ready to get drunk again.
No reason for it at all.
No, turn that off.
No.
Turn it off.
I think that's the best idea you've had.
What's that?
Videotaping her when she's drunk and making her look at it. Now, I don't think you should have shown it to a bunch of friends, but I think it's a good idea to give you a wake-up call about that.
There were no friends. These people that they're referring to as friends were two people that they feel like are brothers to them, that have been raised with them, and she was in the room watching it the day that the incident occurred.
Well, I think that's something you and she should look at privately.
We have. She's viewed it a couple of times before that. She has. If she said she hasn't, Loretta, has she not seen that a couple of times before?
Okay, listen, my point is, I don't think it's bad at all to give her video feedback of when she got out and got stupid at 15 and got drunk.
Well,
but I think it's something that
she always denied it. I'm sorry, sir, but she always denied it. I'm just trying to say, she always denied it. The only way...
Why are you saying this?
Because she would come home...
Don't we agree about this?
Yes, sir.
So you argue when people agree with you?
No, sir.
Yes.
I'm just trying to say that she would always deny that. I'm just trying to say why the videotape was made.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Why are you justifying it? All I'm saying is just keep it private.
He just always sees everything black and white, always, with Ashley and Amy. And with teenagers, you have to have flexibility. You have to see a gray area.
Not when it comes to drinking at 15.
No, I agree.
Not when it comes to drinking at 15.
Exactly.
What's going through my mind right now, what's in my head, is that not one person here has said, Dr. Phil, what can I do to make this situation better? Not one person here has said, I have ownership in these problems, and I want to know what I can do to improve the situation. Everything has been, he's bad, she's bad, she's bad, she's bad. Everybody's pointing a finger. Not one person, not one question. What can I do to improve the situation? Tell me something I can do to improve, to change, to elicit different responses, to improve the situation. Nobody wants to know that.
And I don't think the question is more so, what can I do? It's more like, can I do anything?
Yeah.
Dr. Phil, I'm asking you, can I do anything to fix the damage that's been done?
I'm going to answer that after the break. If you would like to purchase a tape or transcripts of your favorite Dr. Phil show, please log on to drphil.com or call 866-4-DR-PHIL. That's 866-437-7445. 866-437-7445. We're talking about situations when conflict and chaos just really become the rhythm, the pattern in a family. We have a family here today, Loretta, her husband Devin, and their 18-year-old twin daughters, Amy and Ashley. They all claim to desperately want to reconcile their differences. Loretta says if it doesn't happen, she's gone. She's out for good. So what do they do? Is it possible to make this? You're saying, is there anything you can do? You don't like yourself when you tell your parent to F off. You're not proud of that, are you?
No.
I mean, would you think that you would want a child of yours to do that?
No.
So that's a matter of personal pride. You're not holding yourself to a high enough standard. Do you get what I'm saying? You two are very much alike.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't like a lot of myself, so I can see where you're coming from.
And so you can vent that on other people. And those are issues. I mean, you two are delightful young women. You truly are. And you want to hold yourself to a higher standard. This is not, you're better than this. You're really better than this. And you two, you're clearly not on the same page. You are so bent out of shape about what you think is abusive behavior from him to them that you go around behind it and try to make it all okay by indulging them.
Right.
Two wrongs don't make a right. If you're being too harsh and then you come in and say, well, he said you couldn't do it, but go ahead. And you say, well, I know that, there's evidence that you may be behaving inappropriately with drugs or alcohol, but I'm just going to pretend you're not since your father treats you so badly. That's no gift to them. Two wrongs don't make a right. Overindulgence and harshness don't add up to good parenting. No. I'll tell you where you get the most rebellion from children is in highly restrictive parenting or extremely overindulgent parenting. That's the children rebel in the extremes of the continuum. Right. And you got it both. Yeah. So it's a wonder that they've turned out as well as they have. You two may not like each other. I don't know. You right now, you're so unplugged from each other. If you want to quit, you need to quit.
I'm just tired of being in a position to where I'm not getting anything anymore. You know, there's no emotional love. There's no any love at all.
They're
no
roommates.
Support. You said you have to have a soft place to fall. I haven't had one, so I guess I have leaned on them way more than I should in a bad way. I know, in a bad way. I understand that.
And you are very defensive because you've been under attack nonstop for a long, long time.
Absolutely.
Many of the things you do are indefensible. They're just wrong. You just made bad decisions in an emotionally charged situation. Mm-hmm. But you're not an evil guy.
Right.
No.
But you've got to be willing to hear and make some changes in what you do. Every situation needs a leader, and it's got to be you in this situation. And you've got to decide you are going to disengage from the combat. And listen, if you say, I don't favor my 4-year-old son.
Right.
In my perception, you do. I don't think it's even a close call. And I'll tell you why you do. Because at this point, he loves you unconditionally. At this point, he thinks you're 10 feet tall. At this point, he thinks you get up every morning 30 minutes before he does and let the sun out. They, on the other hand, think you are an evil doer of bad things. So you get rejection and criticism here. You get unconditional love from him. It's very natural that you would gravitate towards that. But you need to understand these children aren't finished being parented.
Absolutely.
They need to be parented by you with love, with guidance, with deliberation, and not with getting engaged on the level of their anger. We got the tail wagging the dog here. Now, we're out of time, which is okay, because what I want you guys to do is I'm going to get you a copy of this show. I want you to look at it, think about it, and see where it leads you in your thinking. And then we'll talk. Okay? Don't you quit yet.
Okay.
And if you decide to quit, I got you. But you don't want to quit yet.
Okay.
Agreed?
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back. All right, as we head into the holidays, look, this can be a hard time for families. And if you're struggling with chaos and conflict and drama at home, go to drphil.com. You can send us an email and tell us what's going on in your life. And I'm also going to have a lot of points in there. I don't know how you feel about this at home watching this. I know it can be very frustrating, and I know you see a lack of insight on everybody's part. That doesn't make them bad people. It just means they're so up against it right now, it's hard to see. But I really want them to watch themselves in this discussion and conversation today. Some of it they're going to like, some of it they're not going to like, and then we'll see where things go from there. But we're going to bring some resources to bear and try to bring these nice people some relief. So Devin, Loretta, I appreciate y'all being here and talking about this. I appreciate you writing 13 times. I'm sorry it took 13, but we get tens and thousands of letters and all. But I want everybody to know you've got to take ownership in this. And the only person you can control is you. So that's who you got to focus on for now, and then we'll see where this goes. Thanks for being here. So long.